This episode is brought to you by Redfin. You're listening to a podcast, which means you're probably multitasking. Maybe even scrolling home listings on Redfin, saving homes without expecting to get them. But Redfin isn't just built for endless browsing. It's built to help you find and own a home. With agents who close twice as many deals, when you find the one, you've got a real shot at getting it. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
The Dominic Carter Show
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And a great Sunday evening to everyone. Dominic Carter here with you. The number to reach us live up until 1 a.m. this morning, 800-888-9222. I feel like I gave the wrong telephone number there, Tony.
You gave the right one, Dominic. You just had a little brain freeze, okay?
Okay, just for a second. And it does happen, folks. I'm going to get to the politics in just a moment. But look at what happened in the world, and we see your calls coming in. Look at what happened in the world of college basketball. Go St. John's. St. John's beats Kansas on a buzzer beater to reach the first Sweet 16 since 1999. So St. John's, it's been 27 years? And now they are headed to the Sweet 16. Go Coach Pitino. Go St. John's University. Democrats gambled with TSA and lost. In just a matter of hours, President Trump is moving ICE, baby, into airports around the country to help deal with those long lines. This from Fox News.
This morning, President Trump said he'd be putting ICE agents at airports for security. That is, of course, big if, Democrats don't come to some sort of a funding agreement for DHS. Now, this is wait times and frustrations are growing at airports all across the country as the DHS shutdown rages on. It has been a real mess for those of us who travel. And who better to tell us all about that than Dana Marie McNichol?
So Democrats wanted to play games, and look at you now. You're trying to play chess with a master, and you're not doing a good job at all. The president upending Democrats yet again. ICE, baby, headed to an airport near you in the AM. 800-848-9222. This one, a sad one, a really sad one. And it's almost like it was swept under the rug. An 18-year-old college freshman from Westchester County, from Yorktown Heights, shot in the head near her college campus in Chicago. She was walking with friends near a beach close to campus. An illegal has been arrested in the murder of Sheridan Gorman. Again, walking with friends near a beach off of Lake Michigan, just blocks from campus. So we have a lot we're going to get to, and I see your calls. We're going to get to them momentarily, but I do want to pick up right now with this 18-year-old from our area killed by an illegal in Chicago. It just boils my blood. This from Fox News.
The Department of Homeland Security says ICE has lodged an arrest detainer for an illegal immigrant from Venezuela accused of killing a Loyola University student last week in Chicago. 18-year-old Sheridan Gorman was shot and killed while walking with friends along a nearby campus pier. CB Cotton is live with the latest on that. CB.
Hey, John, DHS is now slamming Chicago and its sanctuary policies while announcing an illegal immigrant has been arrested for killing 18-year-old Sheridan Gorman. The agency is identifying the suspect as Jose Medina. DHS says he's in the country illegally from Venezuela, and agents shared this timeline, saying that on In May 2023, he was apprehended by U.S. Border Patrol and released into the country under the Biden administration. And a little more than a month later, the agency says Medina was arrested for shoplifting in Chicago and released out into the streets again. DHS Acting Assistant Secretary Lauren Biss, writing in part, quote, "We are calling on Governor Pritzker and Chicago's sanctuary politicians to commit to not releasing this criminal illegal alien from jail back into American neighborhoods," end quote. So these alarming new details come as the Gorman family continues to speak out about the young woman's life, saying she lived with intention, faith, and a kindness that defined who she was. Loved ones say she had every reason to feel safe as she walked out near her campus dorm with friends to try and catch a glimpse of the Northern Lights. Chicago police have said the shooting happened at around 1:30 a.m. on Thursday at Toby Prince Beach, just minutes from the Loyola University College campus. Local outlets say witnesses reported the suspect had on all black with a black mask as he fired towards Gorman, who was trying to run away. Her family released a lengthy statement that says in part, quote, "We appreciate the work of law enforcement in bringing the case to this point, but for our family, this is not about a process. It is about accountability, and it is about ensuring that Sheridan's life is not reduced to just another case moving through the system. This cannot become just another story that fades with time." Public and private services to honor Gorman's life are planned for this coming week in New York, where she was from. She was studying business in Chicago and only a few months away from finishing her freshman year. John.
What a sad.
So March is almost gone. April, May, you're done with the semester. She would have been back home from Chicago, back in Westchester County with her family. And this is why I say, when it comes to illegals, get out. I don't understand why this is being tolerated. 9 out of 10 of these people don't have the same standards of life that we have. They think that women are possession for sex, to be raped. They want taxpayers to pay for everything. And they spray areas sometimes with bullets. And on this occasion, and if you're dressed in all black, you're up to no good. You're not even supposed to be here. And you don't respect the rules of the country. You don't respect the norm. Whatever behaviors you brought from Venezuela, leave it in Venezuela. This is not there. I don't understand why all of this is tolerated. You would think after Laken Riley and President Trump did shut it down, but you would think that this would stop. How many Laken Rileys does there have to be? Laken Riley, the, I think, 19-year-old nursing student in Georgia, what was her crime? She wanted to go out for a jog. And she crossed paths with some savage that wanted to have sex. That was her crime. How many Laken Rileys do we have to have? This young lady from our area goes to college in Chicago. Can you imagine her parents? They will never, ever be the same again. They will try, but they will never, ever be the same. Your 18-year-old baby who you just shipped off to college catches a bullet in the head from an illegal. And you have a mayor of Chicago who has to be the worst mayor ever, even worse than de Blasio. As a matter of fact, you can team up the top 10 worst mayors, and I don't think anybody's as bad as Brandon Johnson in Chicago. And he's the mayor in Chicago is just delusional. He spent all the money on migrants. Thus, Chicago had a shortfall when it came to their education system. And you want more. Trump wanted the National Guard to come into Chicago. Think about this, folks. Perhaps if the National Guard was there, this 18-year-old young lady, Sheridan Gorman, might be alive right now. But no. Brandon Johnson wants his sanctuary city. How would you feel, Mr. Mayor, God forbid, if it was your 18-year-old daughter? And so one of our other stories we're dealing with this hour, is it safe for Americans to travel abroad amid the U.S.-Iran war as the U.S. issues a worldwide security alert urging caution as Iran-linked groups may target American interests. We'll get to that in just a second. But we see all of your telephone calls on this Sunday night. Dominic Carter here with you. Let's get to them. Let's begin with line 5, Sherman in Manhattan. Sherman, good evening. What's on your mind?
A few things. Thank you for taking this call. Why don't the parents of all these wonderful women that have been killed, and probably 99% of the white women, I've said this before, when are wonderful white Americans going to get together and create their own White Lives Matter? Because white people are being slaughtered all the time, and it seems to be very acceptable. Can you imagine if these were black girls being killed like this by these illegal immigrants? My next point is, why do these Muslims want to come to a country that they despise so much? Why don't they go to Saudi Arabia? Why don't they go to Yemen? Why don't they go to Morocco?
You know why.
This is all a scam. They want to come here, but they despise us so much. They want to come here and tell us what to do. I would simply like to tell President Trump, if I had the pleasure of having his ear, stop all the immigration from Muslim countries, period. Let's put a hold on that and keep getting rid of all these violent psychopath killers, or start killing these illegal immigrants who have killed these wonderful white women in this country. Start killing them, execute them in Yankee Stadium and Madison Square Garden. That's what we got to do. We've been too civilized, and we've been too nice, and we've been too soft, and these people
That's
know
true.
that.
That's true. You know, Sherman, I really think behind you, I'd be the second person in line to witness in Yankee Stadium one of these savages being executed. I do believe that we as a country have been too nice, and that's why they feel that they can literally get away with murder. And look at it from their point of view. Even if they get caught, right, they get to go to these cushy American jails, 1,000% better than their lives in their home countries, and they get 3 hots in a cot for life. Air conditioning and everything. Right. TV, everything.
That's right.
I don't know, Sherman. Thank you for the wonderful call, as always. So Sherman brought up the issue of Muslim Americans, and it's another day. So what does that mean? That means Mom Donnie speaking out, and you already know what he's saying. He's a victim. The Muslim American community is a victim. Islamophobia, Islamophobia, Islamophobia. Can you say anything else, Mr. Mayor? The mayor, and we're getting right back to your telephone calls in a second, the mayor in a recent interview with PBS, and guess what he's talking about? Islamophobia.
In your first few months in office, you've already seen anti-Muslim protesters outside your home, not protesting your policies or anything else, protesting your faith outside of the place that you live. You have been the target of attacks by lawmakers calling for you to be denaturalized and deported. Representative Andy Ogles has said Muslims don't belong in American society. Representative Randy Fine said we need more Islamophobia, not less. Representative Andrew Clyde said no more Islamic immigration. I think anyone who grew up post 9/11 knows that anti-Muslim bigotry isn't anything new here, but to you, does it seem like there's something different or something new this time?
I think there's an unabashed nature to it, and it is being echoed from the highest offices in this country. They do so without any sense of shame. And what is remarkable about Islamophobia and anti-Muslim bigotry is not that it is bigoted, for there is so much bigotry in this country. It is that there are very few who speak up in opposition to it, the manner in which it has become normalized. And it is not exclusive to any one political party. It is endemic, frankly, to our politics. And what this kind of bigotry shows is a complete...
Stop it for 1 second. Stop it for 1 second. I wasn't going to say this, but I feel the need to do so. You know why he did the interview with PBS? It appears the female reporter, listen to the way she set up the question. Why don't you just throw him a softball and let him hit it out the park? I don't know if she was Pakistani. I don't know if she was Muslim. I don't know. But you hear this guy, right? So, and Tony, I'm going to let you continue, but I may have to walk in that room there. Do you have any bag I can throw up in listening to Mamdani?
Unfortunately, I don't, my friend.
I may have to throw up on the floor. I don't mean to be
but the maintenance people, nobody's here Sunday night, man. So just refrain from that.
See it till tomorrow morning.
Yes, okay. We don't want the boss to see, like, what the hell is going on? What happened?
Oh, that's true.
Okay.
That's true. But everything out of this guy's mouth, okay, let's say Mamdani is black. Can you imagine if we had a black mayor where every day, he said, you don't like me because I'm black. I'm not treated fairly because I'm black. And let's say he brought a black pastor into the Blue Room of City Hall and held church in Blue Room at City Hall. And then went and bought 40 watermelons and brought the watermelons to City Hall and fried chicken and said, here, I came to feed everybody. Can you imagine how we would feel? This is how I feel with Mamdani. Every darn day, Islamophobia. Oh, I'm going to Rikers for Ramadan to pray with the inmates. Oh, I'm going to Prospect Park to pray with the inmates. Give it a break. Continue, Tony.
The city home, whose identity has often been one that they are made to feel as if is in tension with being a New Yorker. When, as I grew up here, I understood, and so many others did, that there is no tension in those identities. They can be one and the same.
But Mr. Mayor, when they're coming after you, when they are showing your face on TV screens, calling you a jihadist, saying you're the enemy,
listen to what she's saying. She's
here?
Literally throwing a softball.
I'm very lucky that I have an incredible team of NYPD officers who keep me safe each and every day. And my fear, frankly, is for those whose names we do not know, whose professions we do not know, who are seen and understood to be Muslim and will be attacked for it. And they will not have the protections that I do.
And so, hey, I have to give him credit for one thing. He finally mentioned the NYPD in a positive way. He finally is giving them credit, but of course, only because they're assigned to protect the Prince of New York, or should I say the King of New York, Mamdani. 800-848-9222. In a moment, we're going to let you hear, folks, what I love this guy, Tom Homan, has to say. You know, you wanted to mess with the president. So now you're going to get it straight with no chaser. Ice, ice, baby, at the airports. You want to play game with people's livelihoods, where TSA agents haven't received pay? Well, Democrats, good for you, because now you're going directly into the frying pan. Let's go first to some more of your telephone calls on this Sunday night. Joe, line 5, Ozone Park. Joe, welcome to the Dominic Carter Show.
Hey, thank you, Dominic. I just want to say I love your show, but I wanted to comment on Sherman. He's. I hope you have him on more, because I really enjoy listening to him, and he's just so intelligent and is just full of intellect. A pleasure to listen to him speak, and I do agree with Trump sending the ICE to the airports.
Tell me why.
We have no choice. The TSA agents are quitting. They haven't been paid. Hundreds of them are quitting. And we have, at this point, I think it's a master move by the master himself. He
Agreed.
You know,
Agreed.
It really is.
Joe, thank you for the telephone call. Let's go to line 4, Al in Yonkers. Al, good evening. What's on your mind?
Hey, Dominic, good evening to you. Like you just touched on, it's a real terrible situation in the gun violence in Chicago. Like you said, politically, they have an awful mayor, and it's devastating with this woman who is from northern Westchester County. She's finishing up her last year of college.
Her last semester of her freshman year. She's only 18 years old. She's 18 years old.
Yeah, exactly. And, when I was a young guy in the 80s, I used to play CYO ball up in Yorktown. Back then, it was a rural community. I used to play against St. Patrick's. They were a competitive, good Catholic school. And so many city workers in Yonkers here who, good friends of mine as a childhood when I was growing up. 3 of the ones I knew now are raising their families up in Yorktown. Yorktown today is like a mini Yonkers. A lot of city workers live up there now from Yonkers. It's a renowned school district in the state known for lacrosse. And what we're going to see probably transpire at the end of this week. Yeah, sorry.
Go ahead. What we're going to see transpire at the end of this week?
What we're going to see transpire at the end of this week or early following week is a sad send-off for a girl whose life has been cut short way too early. And the family, like you said, they'll never get over it.
Hey, Al, let me ask you a question. I don't mean to be morbid, but I think about this sometimes, right? So, So she was shot in the head allegedly by an illegal. He's been arrested. And you're only speculating with me because fortunately for us, we haven't been shot in the head. But what I think about, they say when you get shot, it's very, very hot. I've never been shot, right? So when someone gets shot in the head, and I'm just asking you to think about this with me here. Do you think it's an immediate kill shot? Do they have a second to think? Are they dead on impact? I mean, the moment they hit, I know in some cases they are. And we want to hope that if you're shot in the head, you're taken out of your misery rather quickly. But what do you think happens in a situation like that? I'm always curious when a person is shot in the head like that.
Yeah, that's a good question. Personally, I think your body convulses, starts to shake.
Do you think you know that it's shaking? No, right?
It's possible because, even it's a different analogy. But when you see the girl in Charlotte, after that maniac, slit her throat, she had time to know that, that what just happened. Right. And, her life just went by, right? Just like that.
Al, thank you for the great call. Al in Yonkers. Again, an 18-year-old college freshman from Westchester County, Yorktown Heights, shot and killed in Chicago, I think Thursday, shot in the head by an illegal. Why is this being tolerated in America? If it was up to me, I would skin them and then boil them and then kill them in Yankee Stadium, like Sherman just said. Time for a break. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Fox News is now streaming live on Fox One. When it matters most, turn to the voices you trust. We go beyond the headlines, bringing you the stories you won't hear anywhere else. Live coverage, sharp analysis, real perspective. At home or on the go, stay connected when it counts. Stream Fox News on Fox One. Download today.
Halliday presents, in the red corner, the undisputed, undefeated Weed Whacker Guy. Champion of hurling grass and pollen everywhere. And in the blue corner, the challenger, extra strength Halliday. Eye drops that work all day to prevent the release of histamines that cause itchy allergy eyes. And the winner by knockout is Halliday. Halliday, bring it on.
Hi, I'm Jim. I'm not an actor, just a guy living with prostate cancer. My wife and I face each day head on. We asked my doctor about Xtandi enzalutamide.
Xtandi 40 milligram tablets treats men with prostate cancer that has spread to other parts of the body and responds to a medical or surgical treatment to lower testosterone. Xtandi may cause serious side effects: seizure, a brain condition called PRESS, allergic reactions, heart disease that can lead to death, falls and bone fractures, swallowing problems, or choking that can lead to death. Stop Xtandi and get medical help at once if your face, tongue, lip, or throat starts swelling. Tell your doctor at once if you faint, have a seizure, quickly worsening headache, decreased alertness, confusion, vision problems, chest pain or discomfort, or shortness of breath. Xtandi can cause harm to an unborn baby or miscarriage. Use birth control during and 3 months after Xtandi. Common side effects include muscle and joint pain, feeling unusually tired, hot flashes, constipation, less appetite, diarrhea, high blood pressure, bleeding, falls, fractures, and headache.
Visit Xtandi.com to watch my story.
They say this is a big rich town. I just come from the poet's part. Bright light, city life, I gotta make it.
Now, here's Dominic Carter on Talk Radio 77 WABC.
And the United States is issuing a worldwide security alert, urging caution as Iran-linked groups may target American interests. This is according to the State Department. And what I'm also thinking about are the insane lines at the airports around the country. 3-hour-plus waiting time for flyers as the shutdown chaos sparks literally travel nightmare as it relates to the situation in Iran. And this is one of the reasons why I voted for the man, because he is no joke. He's certainly not Biden. President Trump says we're about to find out what's going to happen in Iran. This from Fox News.
President's deadline for that ultimatum to Iran about the Strait of Hormuz. To get into that Truth Social post, the president wrote, if Iran doesn't fully open without threat the Strait of Hormuz within 48 hours from this exact point in time, the United States of America will hit and obliterate their various power plants, starting with the biggest one first. That was last night. Today, Iran's Speaker of Parliament responded immediately after that happens. The critical infrastructure, energy infrastructure, and oil facilities through the region will be considered legitimate targets and destroyed in an irreversible manner. An Iranian military spokesman said private sector targets are fair game, as well as oil and energy infrastructure.
All power plants, as well as the energy and information and communications technology infrastructure of the Zionist regime, will be extensively targeted. All similar companies in the region that have American shareholders will be completely destroyed.
2 Iranian missiles got through Israeli air defenses, and they hit the towns of Dimona and Arad in South Israel, very near the Negev nuclear research facility. The IAEA says there's no danger of radiation leaking. They were 1,000-pound warheads. They injured more than 100 people. Iran said the missiles were in retaliation for strikes at their Natanz nuclear enrichment facility. Those strikes were carried out by the U.S., not Israel. Meantime, President Trump spoke with Israel's Channel 13. He said that we will find out soon what will happen in the likely event that Iran does not meet his deadline or answer his ultimatum. He says Iran has been acting bad for 47 years. They're about to get their comeuppance. Tommy?
So we'll see what happens there, folks. 800-848-9222. You know, over the weekend, and I'm going back to your telephone calls in 1 second, it just came out of nowhere. Former FBI Director Robert Mueller died over the weekend, and of course it made a lot of news. Mueller and President Trump never saw eye to eye.
Former FBI Director and Special Counsel Robert Mueller has died. Mueller was the director of the FBI from 2001 to 2013. He was appointed special counsel, leading the politically charged investigation into the Russian interference in the 2016 presidential election. ABC's Chief Justice correspondent Pierre Thomas has more on Mueller's career.
In a life dedicated to answering his country's call to public service, Robert Mueller would find himself repeatedly at the crossroads of history.
The men and women of the FBI join the nation in expressing our deep sympathies for the victims of these horrific tragedies and their families.
Sworn in as FBI director just a week before the September 11th attacks, Mueller was thrust into leading the largest investigation his agency had ever encountered, with multiple crime scenes in New York, Virginia, and Pennsylvania. Leads pouring in from every corner of the world. Millions of pieces of evidence and thousands of Americans killed. He led the FBI through a transformation, shifting its focus from traditional crime fighting to counterintelligence and counterterrorism, all aimed at preventing another large-scale attack on U.S. soil.
Now, President Trump caused somewhat of a controversy, responding that it was good that Mueller is dead and that he can't hurt other innocent people. I don't know if I agree with the language that the President of the United States used, but I can understand his frustration. I can understand his frustration. How would you feel if you felt that somebody's been after you for years and that it wasn't warranted? But still, I don't know if I agree. But this president, you know, it's why we voted him in. He's not a typical politician. He's going to tell you exactly how he feels. And overall, that is a good thing. Let's see here. 800-848-9222. Let's go to Greg in Michigan, line 1. Greg, good evening. What's on your mind?
Thank you for taking my call, Dominic. Mr. Positive, everybody, go for your dreams. Boom shakalaka. That was very nice that you said about Mueller and Trump. Yeah, Trump shouldn't have said that. But I got to ask you, and I've been around the world for quite a while. Do you want, Dominic Carter, do you want unity in this world, or do you believe in division and taking sides? Do you think that one side has all the answers and the other side is absolutely void of any course of rectitude? Or
I want unity the same way President Trump does, and that's what he's trying to achieve.
Do you think he does it in a way where the way he articulates and the way he does things, putting people down, saying that maybe people with dyslexia have...
Hey, Greg, it's I don't know what your perspective is, but it sounds like you are on the fence, if not siding with Iran. I'm just telling you my opinion. It doesn't make it right. This is my opinion. Just like you're entitled to your... Wait, let me just finish now. Just like you're entitled to your opinion. I think that, so what do you want them to do? Pull out a jump rope and say to Iran, let's jump rope together? These folks, you can't negotiate with them, or we wouldn't be in this position to begin with. Go ahead.
I'm not specifically saying Iran. No, Iran's wrong, okay? But it's the idea in general, when we talk about politics and unity and we talk about different aspects of politics, in general, I want unity. I believe...
So wait. So how do you get unity? That sounds great. That sounds like world peace. How do you get unity?
I'm glad that you asked. Thank you for asking, Dominic. Where you get unity is when it comes to a situation, not everybody knows everything about something. So ergo, that means that you have to hear both sides. You compromise. Whatever the situation is, you may or may not be married.
How do you compromise with a madman?
Okay, no, I'm not specifically talking about Iran.
Okay. All right. So give me an example. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about where Trump takes one side and he knows.
Okay, I'm asking you to give me an example. I can't go on forever, Greg. I'm asking you to give me an example.
I am. Okay, here it is. He does not believe.
No. Give me a specific. You just want to bash Trump. Give me a specific. You don't think I see this coming a mile away? Give me a specific. No. Okay, so Greg, I have a bunch of calls. I can't go on for 15 minutes with you. Give me an example.
He doesn't want to listen to his advisors.
No. You're sitting in the cheap seats right now. If you want to have skin in the game, give me an example. Don't give me a broad statement. Give me an example.
Well, I wasn't specifically isolating an example, but
right. But you see, therein lies the problem. Everybody has an opinion. First of all, the public never knows the full story of what's going on. But two, if you're going, because it sounds like you're trying to criticize him, you don't like his personality, and that's fine. But give me an example so that we can talk about it. You just can't talk vaguely and say, "Oh, Trump, I don't like his personality." Give me an example.
Okay, his platforms.
No. Give me a specific example.
He wasn't supposed to do a war with Iran. He obliterated their nuclear weaponry.
Okay, so wait a minute. So just like I said 5 minutes ago, that you believe he was wrong in Iran, just like I thought.
No, he wasn't wrong. Well, he could have done it more diplomatically.
Like how? Tell me how. How?
How? Now he's sending in troops that he said he wasn't going to do.
Okay, if you're dealing with Iran, and they've walked over several U.S. presidents, what is he to do? Be the next American president they're going to walk over? I don't think so.
Would you want your son or daughter to go to war with?
That's not the issue. If you're in the military, that's not the issue.
Generalizing.
No. I'm done, Greg, because you're a Trump hater and you're trying to disguise it in a way that I won't see it. But I could tell in the first 15 seconds, man, you got to understand, you're not going to come at me. And I almost have like a radar screen. And I see you coming on the radar screen miles and away, and you try to couch it and you try to put it in a way where I won't catch on to what you're saying. But I could tell in the first 15 seconds that you're a Trump hater. And that's okay. But when you call up, you can't think you're entitled to 12 minutes on the radio. You've got to be able to articulate your point. And you can't talk in these vague general ideas. I said Iran. You said, no, I'm not talking about Iran. Then 8 minutes later, yes, I'm talking about Iran. If it was up to me, drop a bomb on them. End of story. All of them. In terms of the military areas in Iran. You have a lot of good people in Iran. And that's why. So you want to talk about Trump. What about the human rights violations that Trump is trying to help with, that he doesn't have to get involved with, but he's trying to do the right thing? Now, let's go back to, and I'm going back to your telephone calls in a second, Tom Homan. In a matter of hours, you may actually see the ICE agents at an airport near you, no matter what city you are in right now. This is soundbite number 18. Tom Homan on CNN announcing that, yes, ICE baby is coming to an airport near you.
President Trump posted on Truth Social, quote, "If the radical left Democrats don't immediately sign an agreement to let our country, in particular our airports, be free and safe again, I will move our brilliant and patriotic ICE agents to the airports where they will do security like no one has ever seen before." Now, in a subsequent post, he said that he instructed ICE agents to be ready by Monday. And now the president is saying that you, sir, are going to be in charge. How is that going to work? Are ICE agents going to move into American airports starting tomorrow, Monday?
Yes. And I'm currently working on the plan now of execution, working with the director of ICE and administrator at TSA, the acting administrator. So we'll put together a plan today and we'll execute tomorrow.
Okay, so there are a lot of questions here. First of all, are ICE agents even remotely trained to handle security at airports?
ICE agents receive a high level of training. And, you know, the ICE agents are assigned at many airports across the country already. They do a lot of criminal investigation on smuggling at airports. But, you know, there's got TSA agents covering exits, people that enter through the exits. You know, certainly a highly trained ICE law enforcement officer can cover an exit, makes people don't go through those exits, entering the airport through the exits, and that stuff like that relieves that TSA officer to go to screening and to reduce those lines. So wherever we can provide extra security, I don't see an ICE agent looking at an X-ray machine because they're not trained in that. There are certain parts of security that TSA is doing that we can move them off those jobs and put them in the specialized jobs, help move those lines.
Tom Homan, a great American, appearing on CNN. ICE baby. Democrats thought they had Trump behind the 8 ball. Well, look at you now. Nothing but egg on your face, ice, ice, baby, coming to an airport near you. Let's go to line 1, Gracie in California. Gracie, good evening. What's on your mind?
What's on my mind is this. I'm going to talk quick because the connection sucks here in California. Okay. Greg is what? Chamberlain? If somebody's going to kill you, we got to get there first. You know how crazy I was with October 7th. I spoke to you October 9th, and I said, we got to go in there and just kill them all. And you kind of calmed me down. What if, it was your child, you're this, you're that. But I knew what was going to happen. All right? There's no hope when you're dealing with savages where I won't call them savages. I'm going to call them extremists. I want to sound more intelligent.
Okay.
Extremists.
Hey, but Gracie, you know what? You're a smart woman. I don't care, but you're a teacher. I don't care about sounding intelligent. I say savages, but go ahead.
Yeah, but because with someone you can compromise if the two people can be reasonable and have common sense. But when we're dealing with these extreme Muslims, I'm sorry, they're extreme. I'm not saying they all are, but the ones in power, in Iran and all the people they supported, the different groups, Hezbollah, this, that, the other thing. There's no compromising. I always said I was a terrible mother. I said, listen, if anybody starts it, you get the first punch in because you'll never know if you get a second punch, and I'll defend you.
Wait. You just lost me, Gracie. Wait a minute. Wait a New York minute. Did you just say you're a terrible mother?
I'm being sarcastic because I'm
okay. No, but I don't even think you should be sarcastic like that. You have several kids that are Ivy League educated, correct?
I'm a terrific mother.
Of course you are. You have kids that graduated from Harvard Law School, I believe?
Yes.
Okay. So you're a great mom. I get it. I get it. You're being sarcastic, but I'm the type of person, Gracie, I've always hated sarcasm. I mean, absolutely hated it. But so you're an excellent mom. So let's just have that very clear. Go ahead.
Okay. So what I say is, you got to when you're dealing with someone, you have to be able to defend yourself. That's number one. And the second thing is with Mueller. I'm going to say, as soon as I heard he was dead, I said, good. Why? Because, Dante's Inferno, the worst circle in hell is treachery, and that's where he is. What he did to Trump and all that's treachery, and they're all going to go down to the ninth circle of hell. And I don't feel sympathy at all, because what they did, and I don't want to go through the names, but we know people made their careers on saying, I'm going to get Trump, and that's evil.
Right.
So,
right. Well,
Dominic,
good luck.
Thank
you, Gracie. Good luck with that. If you think that works, go talk to Fonnie Willis, the district attorney of Fulton County. She wanted her boo, Nathan Wade, to be the lead prosecutor. They were going to the top with Biden. And look at you now. We're coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
This is Dominic Carter, everybody.
On Talk Radio 77 WABC.
And we are back. 800-848-9222. Let's go to line 1. Jake in New Jersey. Good evening, Jake. What's on your mind?
Yeah, good evening, Dominic. I just wanted to say, all these people that are all upset at President Trump for doing this whole Iran thing, these people got to figure themselves out. First of all, under Biden, the gas was 100 times more expensive. Nobody even said a word. Now this guy he brought down our gas prices, and then now it goes back up because of an excellent job that he's doing, and everybody gets all upset. What kind of thing is that? Whoever heard of such craziness?
Well, you're correct, Jake. It's called sometimes we Americans are spoiled. We're spoiled, and let's face the truth, Jake. We know that President Trump will, in all likely, go down in history as one of the greatest presidents ever. But because some Americans don't like his personality, they don't like that he doesn't kiss the ass of certain people. They don't like that he's not down with affirmative action. They don't like the fact that he's not down with men and women's sports. So they don't like him because 100%. They don't like his personality.
And I think there's also another thing why people don't like this war. I have a feeling it's because Israel is also involved in this, and some people just can't stand those people. They just can't stand them.
Right, and I think that's wrong. But it's a wrong sentiment to have. But you're correct. I didn't even look at that aspect, the anti-Semitism aspect of Israel being involved.
I must say, I'm Jewish. Terrible. I'm Jewish, and I feel it. It's crazy. It's just crazy. It's crazy people going on.
Jake, thank you for the excellent call. Line 2, Michael in New Jersey. Michael, good evening. What's on your mind?
Yeah, good evening. Trump doesn't want to put boots on the ground, but what he should say is there will be no boots on the ground, but there'll be tracks on the ground. Tracks meaning tanks. You put the Americans into tanks. This way they're protected, and you let the Iranian people, give them guns, give them machine guns, and let them do the fighting. And you back them up with the tanks. Now, everybody thinks that in World War II, the German army was such a fantastic, great army. No, the German army wasn't any better than any other army. The thing that the Germans did was they would send in their tanks first against people from countries that didn't have tanks. So one of the best soldiers in the world, when he's facing a tank, can't do a damn thing but get killed. Then the soldiers would be behind the tanks. So that's
Michael, I can agree with what you said, except for your premise is wrong. Because you're in a tank, it doesn't mean that you can't lose your life. Missiles hit tanks all the time.
Iran doesn't have anti-tank guns.
Okay, well, let's hope they don't.
No, they probably don't. What they're using now are these missiles. They're not firing anti-tank guns. They probably have AK-47 rifles, but I don't think they have anything that can stop an American tank, which is basically the finest tank in the world. It takes a lot to knock out an American tank. So that's what you do. You tell the American soldiers, do not under any circumstances come out of the tanks. You are there to back the Iranian people who are the boots on the ground. That's how you tell them. You don't have to worry. If you come across a building that they're shooting at you, you're not going to go into the building. The tank is going to obliterate it. It'll destroy it. That's how you move. You put the tanks up front and the soldiers behind it, and they'll do the mopping. That's all the soldiers have to do is follow the tanks and finish off the animals that the tanks didn't do. And this way you tell the people, I kept my word. There are no boots on the ground, only tracks from tanks.
Interesting, Michael. Thank you for the call. Great chatting with you as always. Let's go to line 1. Let's stay in New Jersey. Let's say good evening to Pamela. Pamela, what's on your mind?
Good evening. I agree with Gracie. I love Trump's honesty about his response about Mueller. I can't stand it when people wish people well when they become very ill or they die, when that person has lived a life of evil. Because you know what? That's not religion. God knows when you're lying. And that man did terrible things to this country and Trump, and called him a spy along with that other group that never got prosecuted, and brought this country to its knees. And just because you die, why? Just because you die, you're supposed to wish him well? That's hypocrisy.
So, Pamela, you're telling me that you wouldn't wish your enemy well if your enemy passed away?
Absolutely. What, am I a fool? Am I a fool?
No, but sometimes things are best left. Sometimes it's best when things are left unsaid. You know, yeah. I can understand President Trump's frustration. I just don't know if I agree with him saying good. I just don't know. I'm on the fence about that one.
You know what? I love his brutal honesty. I love it. I love honesty. I love it. And
no, I hear you, but you do know, Pamela, that's going to give the left and these nuts on the left even more ammunition to say, see, look at his personality. Look at what he just said.
Well, they're going to go after you no matter what. They're going to go after you, no matter what. So it's a rare personality. Like me being a female, I notice with a lot of women, in my life, girlfriends and all, men can be a little bit more brutally honest amongst their friends, and I envy that. But with women, you're not a woman. I'm a woman. I've seen it where, I'm kind of blunt and to the point. You know where I stand, and that shocks a lot of women. So a lot of the people in the neighborhood, when they've got a question about something or a disagreement, guess who comes out of the house to talk to me? The men, all the men. Because women sometimes can be very, what's the word? Evasive.
I don't know.
And not state their true feelings. And if you do, oh, that's shocking. Oh, Pam, why do you say that? That's shocking. Well, too bad. I live in this world and I have to survive it just like everybody else.
But Pamela, you and I are regular citizens. Our president, he's great, but he's the president of the United States. I'm just saying, Pamela, I don't know if I agree. I mean, I understand the frustration. Because sometimes you want to tell somebody you can kiss my, you know what, okay, rear end. But when you're the president of the United States, it's a different ballgame. Pamela, thank you for the wonderful call, folks. We see all your calls. We'll give you the opportunity to stand by. I've got to take a break. We're going to be coming right back. We have a lot more we're going to get to. And, of course, the number to reach us from now until 1 a.m. Eastern Time is 800-848-9222. Again, 800-848-9222. I am coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Starting a business can seem like a daunting task, unless you have a partner like Shopify. They have the tools you need to start and grow your business. From designing a website to marketing to selling and beyond, Shopify can help with everything you need. There's a reason millions of companies like Mattel, Heinz, and Allbirds continue to trust and use them. With Shopify on your side, turn your big business idea into... Sign up for your $1 per month trial at shopify.com/special offer.
Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
Yes, indeed. In America, it's now normal versus crazy. Normal versus crazy. Dominic Carter here with you. The number to reach us this hour from around the country, 800-848-9222. I've been thinking about that for a while. Politics in our country. Normal versus crazy. If the Republican Party was screwing up right now, I would criticize them. But normal right now is the Republican Party. Crazy is the Democrat Party. And here we are just months away from the midterms. Normal Republicans, nuts Democrats. 800-848-9222. Each story I'm going to illustrate this hour shows normal versus crazy. Crazy versus normal. Issue number 1. Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee can't even go to a restaurant in peace. She was asked to leave a restaurant. Did she do something wrong? Nope. Did she not tip well? Nope. What was her crime? She is a Republican. That was her crime. She appeared on Hannity discussing the situation.
First off, I remember interviewing you when this happened the last time, and I said, I'm sorry, you're the governor of the state. Now, my understanding is you ate lunch, I believe it was lunch, then you paid the bill, you tipped them, and then they told you to get the hell out. Is that right?
You're right. Unfortunately, I was there with two other moms. And as you know, as well as anybody, Sean, the battle in this country is no longer between the left versus the right. It's the normal versus the crazy. And unfortunately, we saw a little bit of the crazy come out last week in my home state of Arkansas. But the good news is that the vast majority of people across this country, they love God, they love their families, they love America, and they do not represent that small group that we had to experience and endure last week. I think my state is one of the most hospitable in the country. I'm proud to be the governor of Arkansas. I love our people. I think we have some of the most amazing people you will find anywhere, and we're not going to let a small group ruin a great reputation or dictate the rules or what it looks like to be from Arkansas or to be an American. And so we're going to continue to try to treat people with kindness the way that we want to be treated, hold our heads high, and ignore the haters and the touch of crazy when we encounter it wherever we are.
I can't imagine that situation. I'm in a restaurant eating, and I've been to Arkansas several times. The first time I went was with former mayor, he was the mayor at the time, Rudy Giuliani, when he was considering running for president. And we went to Arkansas, and we went to, what's the best way to say this? We went to several Bill Clinton locations. That's the best way to say it. We went and got some barbecue where Clinton would get barbecue. We went to an elevator. I'm just going to leave that one alone. The stories that I was told about this elevator. We got the Arkansas treatment while I was there. I've been there several times. And so imagine you go to eat and someone tells you they don't like your politics. They don't like that you were Trump's press secretary at one point, and you're now the governor, and they've got the cojones to tell the governor to leave. She's a much better person than I am, folks, because I'm telling you, straight up, I can't be any straighter than this. I would look at my chief of staff. I wouldn't say a word because you never know what recordings are being made in your office. I would look at my chief of staff, and that would mean lose their inspection paperwork, this restaurant, lose something, make their life a living hell in the next couple of weeks. 800-848-9222. So I'm sure you heard this weekend, former FBI Director Robert Mueller passed away, and President Trump said that it's good. This is what the president had to say as it relates to Robert Mueller.
The president has just posted on Truth Social following the death of former FBI Director Robert Mueller, and I'm just going to read to you his post. It says, "Robert Mueller just died. Good, I'm glad he's dead. He can no longer hurt innocent people. Signed, President Donald J. Trump." And this really follows a pattern by President Trump to continuously not express sympathy for his perceived political enemies, even in the face of their death. You may remember the death of Director Rob Reiner, the president expressing similar sentiments then. Even when Congressman Ilhan Omar faced political violence at one of her press conferences, she was sprayed with a substance. The president did not express sympathy. So this really follows a pattern for him. And these two men have a long and tense history. President Trump actually interviewed Robert Mueller about potentially taking a job as FBI director in his administration during his first term. But then Mueller was ultimately appointed special counsel in that investigation into interference, potential Russian interference in the 2026 election. And from there, these two men, their relationship became incredibly tumultuous. President Trump repeatedly called that investigation a witch hunt. And now, even in his death, which we still don't know exactly the cause of, President Trump expressing very harsh words.
So that obviously from ABC. So where do I stand on this? Let's not be phonies. If someone is a political enemy of yours and they pass away, what are you going to say privately to your wife, to your girlfriend, maybe even to a mistress. What are you going to say? Good. Couldn't happen to a nicer person. So I understand the president feeling that way. I just don't know. I got to give him credit for having the nerve to say it publicly. I just don't know if I would have. Maybe I should frame it in the aspect of I don't know if I would have the courage to express that. But you know, the president is not a typical politician. That's why he was elected and won every battleground state. He didn't like Mueller. Mueller didn't like him. So Trump said, good. It is what it is. That's all, folks, right? 800-848-9222. Let's go to line 2. Joe in Trenton, New Jersey. Good morning, Joe. What's on your mind?
Hey, good morning, Dominic. Dominic, in response to Greg talking about unity in this country.
I can't respond to some other what some other host said. I have no idea what he said. I don't understand why you're bringing that to me.
You had a caller named Greg.
Oh, a caller named Greg. Okay, all right. You didn't say caller. I'm sorry, because I just have a pet peeve because people think that I'm an ambassador and I can respond to everything that every other host said. And truth be told, Joe, truth be told, that if we're listening to the radio at that moment, we may catch it, but 9 times out of 10, we're too busy getting ready for our own show to know what another host said. But anyway, go ahead, Joe.
All right, in response to that caller, if we had an honest press, we would have more unity in this country. We have a propagandized press, and you wonder why Donald Trump has the attitude that he has, calling them the fake news. Let's have an honest press and watch how much more unified this country would be. As to the Mueller, that whole investigation, he didn't even know who Fusion GPS was. That thing was being run by Weissman, and he was going after all of Trump's allies to send a message to anybody else thinking about hooking up with Trump in the future.
Well, he's gone now, and what do you make of the president saying good?
Well, if I would say the same thing. He went after everybody around Trump. Look what they did to those poor people, Dominic. They had a lawyer up. They bankrupted a lot of people having to pay for their lawyers.
And it can be very expensive. Joe, thank you for the great call. It can be very expensive. Second mortgages, all types of stuff to pay for a lawyer. A story we're following out of New York happens to be a suburb of New York City, Westchester County. Here we go again, another illegal. An 18-year-old college freshman from Yorktown Heights in Westchester County, New York, attending college in Chicago, minding her business, going for a walk near the beach area. An illegal is now charged, was dressed in all black, fatally shot this young child, somebody's baby, in the head.
Venezuelan migrant has reportedly been arrested in connection to the shooting death of an 18-year-old college student in Chicago. Chanley Painter joins us now with developing details. Hey, Chanley.
Hey, Charlie. So 18-year-old Sheridan Gorman was shot early Thursday morning while out on a walk with her friends near her college campus. And now police reportedly have the man responsible. That, according to the Chicago Tribune, reporting that police have arrested a 25-year-old man. Fox News Digital adding this, quote, the Tribune said it had obtained the arrest report and was not naming the suspect, who sources tell Fox News is a migrant from Venezuela. Witnesses of the shooting say the masked suspect fired one shot towards Gorman's group, killing her. The Tribune also reporting that the suspect was ID'd minutes later in videos due to his, quote, distinct limp. This all comes as Gorman's hometown of Yorktown, New York, shows support for her grieving family. Assemblyman Matt Slater saying, quote, people are popping green lights on just to let the Gormans know that we're all here for them and we're here for Sheridan, and just our hearts are broken for them all. The green representing Yorktown's school colors where Gorman graduated high school. Now the family of the college freshman is speaking out, saying, quote, Sheridan was our daughter, our sister, and the heart of our family, whether it was her friends, her family, or someone she had just met, Sheridan had a way of leaving people better than she found them. Police have yet to confirm the arrest and any further details in this investigation so far. Charlie, I'll send it over to you.
So, I don't know, folks. I have to be honest. This is never going to happen, but it was up to me. If this migrant is convicted of this, he should be hit in his testicles at least 20 times with a nightstick. That's just the warm-up act. He should be left. You know what? I better not say what I was going to say. Time for a break. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
And I am looking at my Twitter and my ex, Juliana, from down under Australia. One, she says she tried to call and get through. So here's a little advice, folks. If you want to call, or at least my shows, which do very good in terms of the ratings and the callers. The key is the earlier you call, the better. If you wait until about now, it's almost impossible that you'll get through. So, Juliana, the key is as soon as you hear me start talking, that's when you call. So, Juliana just posted at Dominic TV and Tony, hope you both had a wonderful weekend. And now, Tony, last week, okay, so wait a minute. Wait, let's stop. I like Tony. I like oxtails, but don't. I like them when they cook. Don't show it to me at the butcher's shop because it's nasty. Ugh.
Same here. I understand.
Okay.
We're on the same page.
Okay, so we're on the same page.
Yes.
Okay, but they're good when you eat.
Delicious.
Yeah. But if you see that oxtail,
there's a lot of things that you and I both like to eat. But if we see what they really look like, we're not going to eat.
Right.
Shrimp for once.
Right.
Shrimp is
ugly.
Shrimps are ugly, but they taste good when they're fried.
When they're fried.
Yes.
When they're fried. So but before leaving for work, I had to, I try to eat, because I grew up on the tradition of Hebrew national hot dogs, because when I think about what hot dogs are made out of,
yeah, processed food,
delicious.
man. Yeah.
They're delicious,
Yes.
delicious. But so anyway, so Juliana sent last week kangaroo stew, right? And now guess what, Tony, what I'm going to eat at 2 o'clock in the morning, 2:30 when I get home. Guess what I have?
You're going to eat kangaroo stew.
No.
You're going to eat
regular stew.
Regular stew. Okay.
But it's going to remind me of kangaroo stew. So now she sends something, and it's called kangaroo tail. And she says, Dominic and Tony, don't say ew. This is what she says, literally. She says it's good for you and it's tasty and healthy. Cheers. God bless. That's Juliana. So would you try kangaroo stew?
No. Since I was a kid, God bless the dead of my mother, she used to always say, Tony, why don't you just taste it? Why don't you just taste it? No. If it didn't look good to me, the kid was not eating it.
But kangaroo tail.
No. I'm going to leave Matilda alone, the kangaroo alone. I'm not going to do that, okay? No.
Kangaroo tail. Oh. Your face says it all. Okay, so Mamdani, the mayor of New York City, the socialist mayor of New York City, only 34 years old, thinks he knows everything, doesn't know a darn thing, surely doesn't know how to handle a budget. What does he do? How many Ramadan celebrations are there when you're done with fasting? He goes to the prison, to Rikers Island, to do Ramadan with the inmates.
And critics slamming the New York City mayor Zohran Mamdani for visiting inmates at Rikers Island to break fast in the celebration of Ramadan. Now remember, just a few weeks ago, he chose to dine with a known anti-Israel protester instead of a hero NYPD officer who stopped a bombing suspect. An anonymous NYPD officer telling the New York Post, quote, he actually visited inmates on Rikers, but hasn't visited any victims of the heinous crimes some of these guys have committed. I think it's absolutely disgusting. But earlier in the week, Mamdani called this the most meaningful evening, telling NPR, quote, "This is me just being a Muslim New Yorker, and I think there are some for whom that is a political act, and there are a million or so of us here in the city for whom it is simply a day-to-day existence."
Wow. The mayor of New York at Rikers Island, they're only accused. That's right. They're not convicted. But they didn't do it. It's a million stories there. I didn't do it. The mayor. We're coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
USAA knows dynamic duos can save the day, like superheroes and sidekicks or auto and home insurance. With USAA, you can bundle your auto and home and save up to 10%. Tap the banner to learn more and get a quote at USAA.com/bundle. Restrictions apply.
Instagram teen accounts have automatic protections for what teens see and who can contact them, plus time management tools. And Instagram will continue adding built-in safety features to help create age-appropriate experiences. Learn more about teen accounts and Instagram's ongoing work to protect teens online at instagram.com/teen accounts.
This episode is brought to you by Cologuard. Do you know what's really scary? Not screening for colon cancer when you turn 45. The Cologuard test is non-invasive, requires no special prep or time off work, and ships right to your door. In just 3 simple steps, Cologuard takes the scare out of colon cancer screening. If you're 45 or older and at average risk, ask your healthcare provider about the Cologuard test. Cologuard is available by prescription only. Learn more or request a prescription today at Cologuard.com/screen.
Baseball is back, and the first pitch is on Netflix. The New York Yankees, led by 7-time All-Star Aaron Judge, head to the San Francisco Bay to take on Rafael Devers' San Francisco Giants. This season kicks off with one exclusive opening night game. Watch MLB Opening Night, the New York Yankees versus the San Francisco Giants, live on Netflix. Wednesday, March 25th at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific.
Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
And we are back. So one of our lead stories this morning happens to be from the New York area, Westchester County, involving Chicago, 18-year-old college freshman, only 2 months away from completing her freshman year, shot and killed, shot in the head. Near campus in Chicago. She was walking with friends near a beach close to campus, and her name, Sheridan Gorman, an illegal, a migrant, has been arrested and charged with her murder in Chicago. I'm looking at my Twitter, at my ex, at Dominic TV. The lovely DMS says, and this happened, she's from Yorktown Heights in Westchester County. And DMS raising a good point. Isn't Yorktown Heights where AOC is from? I wonder what kind of comment she's going to make. Patty says this, and she has a picture of people protesting against ICE in Westchester County, New York. And she says these are Westchester protesters, no kings, in capital letters. Wonder if any were from Yorktown. How do they feel now? So sad. I hope people around dim majority here wake up. And she capitalizes the words wake up. So to this individual that's been charged with her murder, before I tossed to a break, I said that he should be hit about 20 to 40 times, as hard as a CO can hit him, between his legs with a full wooden nightstick, at least 20 to 40 times, 5 times a day. Spread it out during the day. Then, as they used to do with criminals that do really, really, really bad things, when they're in their cell, bring them their food. You need to spit in his food for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. for a few weeks from the pit of your stomach. Pull it up, spit in it. If he's in solitary, but he can't get out to get food, and then give him his food. Make sure you get the spit all over every item on the tray. Then after that, you need to put him in a unit with all the brothers and inform the brothers that that you're going on your lunch break and you won't be back for an hour. And we'll see how tough he is then, and do that every day. And in fact, tell the brothers that you're going to personally put $30 on their commissary card each if they do the right thing. You don't need to say anything more. Don't kill them, but do the right thing. I can't say what I really mean because some people will type out, Dominic is advocating sexual violence against, yes, I am, against inmates, against this guy. Then you need to throw some hot water on him. And then after all of that, then we have the public execution in Yankee Stadium. That's what should happen to him because in essence, that's what he did to this 18-year-old girl. 18 years old, shot in the head. She's gone. She's in a morgue somewhere. I don't mean to be that direct, but her parents will never be the same. Never. New York's Governor Kathy Hochul. It's an election year. Democrat Kathy Hochul. You talk about foot and the mouth disease. We're going back to your telephone calls in a second. First, she says to Republicans and to the wealthy, get out of New York. Now she says, my bad. I didn't mean it. Come back. This is Governor Hochul, the before, the after, and Congressman Mike Lawler of Rockland County, New York, responding.
Just jump on a bus and head down to Florida where you belong, okay? Get out of town. Get out of town. I need people who are high net worth to support the generous social programs that we want to have in our state. Right? Now, there are some patriotic millionaires who stepped up. Okay, cut me the checks. I mean, just if you want to be supportive, but maybe the first step should be go down to Palm Beach and see who you can bring back home because our tax base has been eroded.
Unbelievable. I'll give you the last quick word.
Kathy Hochul is a grade A idiot and the single worst governor in America. The fact is she has run people out of this state. They're not leaving because of the weather. They're leaving because they cannot afford to live here and the quality of life. She is responsible for it. And now she has the audacity to say, oh, wait, please come back. We need to pay for our social safety net. She needs to get her fiscal house in order. It means they need to cut spending, they need to cut taxes, and they need to make New York open for business. Unfortunately, it ain't going to happen with Kathy Hochul at the helm.
Yeah, come back so we can text you even harder under Zohran Mamdani. Not sure they're going to take it.
Yeah.
Congressman Lawler.
Affordability, but I'm going to raise taxes by $9 billion.
Congressman Lawler, have a great weekend. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
So, folks, look at what the governor actually said. She said, now this is the same lady. Now, to those of you nationally, I grew up in the Bronx. Grew up poor in the Bronx. And our governor literally said before that we have black kids in the Bronx that don't know what a computer is. I am literally one of those black kids from the Bronx. And this is what she said. Then she went before a black church and they were giving out, the state was giving out rebate checks. And I guess she wanted to fit in with the black minister and the black crowd and, you know, let the church say amen. And she's talking in the cadence of a minister. And then, oops, that bone fell out of her mouth. The governor of the state of New York said, now you're going to get your rebate checks. Don't go to the liquor store and spend all the money. Spend it, some of it on the children. Can you imagine if Trump said that or if a Republican? She literally told a black group of church goers in Buffalo, you're going to get your rebate checks. Don't spend it all in the liquor store. This is what the governor literally had to say. And then she says, come back so you can pay for the migrants. That's basically for the social programs. Why would anybody in their right mind come back to New York to pay for somebody else? Let them pay for their damn selves. That's what the problem is. You want all these social programs? Pay for it. Pay for it. You. Pay for it. Not government, you. Pay for it. 800-848-9222. Into that clip with Congressman Lawler, the topic of Mamdani came up. The socialist mayor. You could say, good morning, Mr. Mayor. Islamophobia. Mr. Mayor, are you having a good day? It's Islamophobia. Mr. Mayor, what are you having for dinner tonight? It's Islamophobia. He does an interview with PBS, a very sympathetic female journalist. I don't know if she was Indian American. I don't know if she was Muslim American, but she might as well have been his cheerleader. And what's he complaining about in this interview with PBS? You guessed it, Islamophobia.
I think anyone who grew up post 9/11 knows that anti-Muslim bigotry isn't anything new here. But to you, does it seem like there's something different or something new this time?
I think there's an unabashed nature to it, and it is being echoed from the highest offices in this country. They do so without any sense of shame. And what is remarkable about Islamophobia and anti-Muslim bigotry is not that it is bigoted, for there is so much bigotry in this country. It is that there are very few who speak up in opposition to it, the manner in which it has become normalized. And it is not exclusive to any one political party. It is endemic, frankly, to our politics. And what this kind of bigotry shows is a complete erasure of the million or so Muslims who call this city home, whose identity has often been one that they are made to feel as if is in tension with being a New Yorker. When, as I grew up here, I understood, and so many others did, that there is no tension in those identities. They can be one and the same.
So, Mamdani, why didn't you talk about Islamophobia every day before the election? He thinks he's so slick. He waited until after the election to bombard us with his socialist agenda. Looking at my Twitter, at my ex Sandra from New Jersey says, I love that President Trump is not a phony. Would you rather him lie and say, I'm so sorry, Mueller passed away? If he said no comment, that would have been more socially acceptable. Okay, but I just don't know if I would have said good. You know, I understand his frustration. I just don't know, me personally, if I would have said good. Let's go to Patrick, line 5 in Indiana. I'm going back to Indiana. What's on your mind, Patrick?
President Trump is doing a fine job in foreign affairs, but he should be enforcing the Constitution.
Okay, Patrick,
affairs.
wait, Patrick. I've heard that argument about Mamdani. What has Mamdani violated?
He has lied to get in this
That's
country.
not a violation of the Constitution. Every politician lies.
It's a violation of naturalization. Naturalization is what they ask you when you come into this country. So if he said he agreed with constitutional law, and now he says he agrees with international law, and he calls
you think he's stupid enough to admit that?
The quotes are there. Rita Cosby has all these quotes, and she played them.
Okay. Listen, I've said before, please don't bring up another show because I don't know what quotes Rita had. I don't know where she got them from. I don't know. But I am telling you, based on it, you have not made a case just now for him to be. And when people call up and say, you got to have some meat on the bone, you've got to have something. That's not grounds for him to be removed from office. He's got a team of lawyers. All you would do is make him larger than life even more. I'll give you the final word, Patrick. Go ahead.
Okay, but still, they say if Trump would enforce the Constitution, you're going
to say the same thing. Never mind. You're going to say the same thing. Never mind. I gave you an opportunity. You're going to repeat the same point. Let's go to John, line 4 in Hell's Kitchen, New York City. What's on your mind, John?
Good morning to you, Dominic. Shout out to Sherman, a straight shooter. Respect to you, Sherman. I got to tell you something, Dominic. It's time to take the gloves off. I live 2 blocks from Port Authority, and in the last 3 years, when all this migrant stuff started, I would go over many a morning with a cup of coffee, and I watched this clown, Eric Adams, and this clown, Cardinal Dolan, and Catholic Charities stand there and welcome these people, hug the people with tattoos on their face, on their necks, on their children's faces, coming off these buses, handing them phones, handing them money, handing them vouchers, handing them gift cards. I never got a thing in my life. I'm from the Bronx just like you. And there's a lot of people with blood on their hands. Eric Adams, Hochul, Cardinal Dolan, and now let's go international. If and when, and anyone in law enforcement, and I'm fired up, Dominic, you can hear it. Marvin Gaye used to say, makes me want to holler, throw up both my hands. International. Anyone in law enforcement right now knows that we are in an imminent threat. There is a high level of a threat right now. The Trojan horse is here, and there's going to be a reckoning, Dominic, because enough is enough. You sort of have to, you have to skirt the line because you got a show and you have to watch yourself. I don't. I'm telling you, there's going to be a reckoning because you can see it, you can smell it, you can taste it. It's right in front of us. They're looking at us, and the blood will be on Hakeem Jeffries' hands, Schumer's hands. You know what's going to happen now, Dominic? They're going to start fighting with these ICE agents in the airports, and there's going to be an incident. We need to get clarity and peace and understanding. And you know what? It's not normal against crazy. It's good against evil.
Good against evil. Well, you know what, John? Maybe you're right. But, you mentioned Port Authority, man. I don't like to go anywhere near. It is like it's now a slum area.
But Dominic, I went over there to watch the buses. I watched Dolan and Eric Adams greeting the buses when they were bringing these migrants in and sending them to the Row Hotel. I stood there. No one ever handed me anything in my life. Did anyone ever hand you anything, Dominic?
No.
Right.
Well, the taxpayers of New York State,
Street in the South Bronx. And
the taxpayers of New York State were nice enough to help me with my college education. So I don't want to say I wasn't given something, but John, I got to take a break. I got your point. Everybody calls up and says the same thing. You gave the migrants everything, free. But when it comes to Americans, sorry, we don't have the money in the budget. I'm about to be evicted. Sorry. Good luck with that. Maybe you can get an apartment. When it comes to the migrant, health care, food, medical care, culturally appropriated food. Again, I feel like throwing up. I'm coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
Democrats gambled with TSA and lost. I told you, folks, President Trump is always playing chess. Ice, baby, will be at many airports throughout the country in just a matter of hours on the orders of the President of the United States via Tom Homan. Back to your telephone calls. Line 5, Tom in the Bronx. Good morning, Tom. What's on your mind?
Good morning, Mr. Carter. I have to tell you, anything that I ever thought about you that was negative, I apologize for, because after listening to you take the lead on openly condemning this Mandami lunatic, you are one of the new heroes. There was Sean Connery, there was Clint Eastwood, and Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now I add you to that list.
Well, thank you, but I don't look as good as Sean Connery in his day, and I don't have the body of Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, sure, but you have the mind. You have the mind, and I pay attention to you all the time, and I'm saying, this guy is putting himself out there. I want to join your fan club and if you show up any place publicly, I'm retired. I got time. I want to come to those meetings and voice my support for you. People
the reason why I put myself out
doing.
there, Tom, the reason why I do it, it's the only way I know. I don't know any other way. So when I'm taking on power, it's the only way that I know. I'm just built that way. I don't know if, And my thing is, yes, a major politician, can you ruin my entire life? Yes, you can. But I'm still going for it. Let's go. Round 1, round 2, round 3, round 4. Tom, thank you for the wonderful call. Thank you so much. It's very kind of you to say. And I hope you're enjoying your retirement. Let's go to Jay, line 3, New Jersey. What's on your mind, Jay?
Yeah, Dominic, 2 things. President Trump sending the ICE into the airports is just, I really like that because Democrats, they stopped the funding of TSA because of, even though ICE had nothing to do with it. So President Trump is making ICE, bringing them in, and they'll have something to do with it now, which is what they didn't want. And to that point, I believe that Democrats and also Republicans, John Thune, they refused to bring to have illegals get purged from the voting rolls and get that done. I believe Trump should bring ICE into the polling locations and have them monitor it over there, because if they're not going to pass the SAVE Act and get the illegals out of the voting booth, they're going to have ICE in the polling locations, which is the Democrats are afraid of.
No, I'm with you up until that, Jay. If you think they complain about them being on the streets, you think that they would tolerate ICE at polling locations? They would claim every racism charge. They would say, oh, we're going back to Alabama. This is the 50s. ICE is at the polling sites. Oh, Lord. I don't mean to mock the Lord. Hey, Jay, thank you for the great call. Let me try and get in one more here. Silas, Staten Island. Silas, you got 45 seconds. Go for it.
Okay. I think Trump's doing the right thing as far as with the Houthis. Could you imagine if I blocked off the highway and said, nobody's getting through unless they pay me? Who would put up with that? So why would we put up with the Houthis blocking off us the straits? So he's doing the right thing. Take him out. Whatever you got to do, take him out. And as far as Mandami is concerned, he knows exactly what he's doing. He's not a young guy who doesn't know what he's doing. He's a young guy who knows exactly what he's doing. He's looking to tank the economy here and cause as much chaos as he can. And right now he's succeeding.
Why would he want to tank the economy? Why would he want to do that?
The same reason, just like with the Bronx and stuff, the way people just left and abandoned their buildings and stuff because it just got too bad. He's succeeding. Billionaires are leaving.
I hear you, Silas. Thank you for the call. Folks, Silas has a point here. Every time I pass the Bronx, I think about this when I'm driving through on a Deegan. Why did you have public officials that did not want economic activity in your borough? It defies logic. I'm back 3 p.m. Eastern.
Thanks for listening to The Dominic Carter Show. You can hear The Dominic Carter Show weekdays at 3 p.m. and Monday through Thursday at midnight and Sunday starting at 11 p.m. on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.